Canada hates landlords and is letting vagrant tenants live rent-free for up to a year, all while bankrupting landlords because they have a financial duty to pay the mortgage no matter what. But here's an interesting turn in Canadian culture where people are not really hating landlords as much. They're pointing all their anger and hating realtors. Greedy fucking parasites, eh? Well, maybe not. Here's an update on what's going on. Now, if you're a realtor or even if you've owned a property in the past or currently, you don't want to miss this. Now, let's just get right to it. Dude, nobody likes realtors. Everybody thinks everything going on right now with the housing market, the housing crisis, is all the fault of realtors. And this is just easy scapegoating and marketing from news organizations or other YouTubers or other social media influencers. It's easy to put all the blame on one person. I can tell you, as being a realtor in the industry, not so much anymore. I'm just a full-time investor now. Dude, realtors don't move or change the market. It's not them. See, most people don't understand the selling process when it comes to selling a home. And that is, selling a home is super, super hard unless you're in 2021, 2020, but those days are over. Now we're in a normal-ish real estate market for the majority of North America where selling a home takes a lot of time on the market. Things aren't selling like they used to, and now marketing and negotiating and skills is at the forefront again. So people are always complaining, well, how come realtors cost so much? That's crazy, 4%, 5%, that's insane. What people don't understand is that when you sell a property, you have to pay the other realtor at least 2%. That's normal in Canada because they brought the buyer and they did all of their own marketing to find that buyer. So they're getting paid for it. They spent money on Facebook ads, they did open houses, they went to conferences, they went to events. Dude, that's a lot of work, a lot of time for free until you sell a property. So the seller has to pay the buyer's realtor for, thank you for bringing that buyer, I'm gonna pay you now. And you gotta pay your realtor to sell the property another 2%, so 4% total. That's normal in Canada. But again, why 2%? 2% of 400,000, 2% of 800,000 like Kitchener and Toronto, that's a lot of money. It also costs a shit ton of money just to be a realtor, which again, people don't understand that. Just to hold your license as a realtor with all the fees and the memberships to the board that you're on, trust me, I can tell you all this stuff is about $500 on the low end, most likely $1,000 a month minimum for realtors who are going to the office and have an office. If you work from home, maybe it's around $500 a month. And you're paying that no matter what, whether you're selling a property or not. Now, when you do sell a property, and a lot of times, your brokerage is going to take 20, 30% of that commission for them because they're the one essentially processing the transaction. They have admin staff, they got this, they got lawyers, whatever. So even if you make $7,000, a fat check on a sale, bro, 30% of that is going to your broker. And all the money that you spent on Facebook ads, on going to open houses for free, on doing events, whatever, that's coming out of that as well. So out of the $7,000, you might only realistically make $3,000 to $4,000 if you're lucky. And if you're only selling one property a month, which is a lot actually for the average realtor, you're barely making it. You're barely making a typical wage working at some shit job. Now here's this stat. Only 10% of the realtors do 80% of all of the business in real estate. So it's really only the top realtors in your town that are actually making the $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 a year. It's such a small number. The vast majority of agents that you know that you're working with are fucking dead broke. They're actually better off just working a job as a carpenter or a plumber, as an admin at some office. They're way better off doing that. You watching this video, guarantee, probably make more money than the average realtor. Now, there's this idea that realtors are selling properties at lower prices just to get the deal done. That they don't care about the seller. They just want to get the deal done. So maybe they could have got another $50,000, $40,000 if they really negotiated a little more for the seller. But they just want to get rid of the property, move on, get their commission check, get another notch on the belt, onto the next deal. And while this is kind of half accurate, most of the good realtors are going to try and get the most money they can for the property because they're getting more commission, but also it's nice juicy marketing on their shitty Facebook page of how they got the top record on the street. Dude, realtors absolutely fucking love that. But there are realtors as well who will just sell the property, just get it done when they really could have negotiated that extra $20,000, which would have done a ton for the seller. I mean, $20,000 is $20,000, but $20,000 on a commission split, we're talking about $100, $200 more for the realtor. So they're like, am I really going to negotiate that much harder for $100 of commission? I'll just sell the property. We'll get the deal done. I'll tell my seller it's a really good deal. You should really accept this offer because it's $100. Who cares? But for the seller, we're talking 20 grand. That's a lot. Now that does happen for sure in the industry. I can tell you that. I've been across the table of that so many times. But the reality is if you're working with a top performing realtor, a driven realtor, they're honestly going to try and get you the most money because you're going to be happy. You're going to tell all your friends about how amazing this realtor is. Yo, he squeezed that other buyer and got me 20 more grand. This is the realtor you need. Because the reality is the majority of business for realtors is word of mouth. It's not Facebook ads. It's not paying advertising. It's actually clients being like, yo, hire Joey. He's the best realtor. You have to use Joey. That's how most realtors get their business. And in the industry, realtors know that. Every coach they're hiring, every shitty mentor they have is telling them, yo, word of mouth is how you get your business. So you got to treat your clients well and do the best for them. So all these articles of realtors screwing over clients, dude, it's so low. It's a minority. But you know the news, they focus on the fear. They focus on the craziness. But it's like 1%, 10% of the industry. Now, talking about realtors hustling and making money, if you want to hustle as a real estate investor and quit your job and start making that passive income, check out my pinned comment below where I give you all of my free courses. My free course on how to invest in the US as a Canadian citizen, my free course on how to grow a real estate investing business like myself and how I've raised over $60 million through online marketing and bought 150 properties with none of my own money. Check out all of that as well as my Insiders Club where we meet monthly and you're surrounded by like-minded individuals. 2024 is all about giving up the losers in your life, especially the financial losers. We don't want to hang out with them. Sorry. We only want to hang around people who are like-minded, who are motivated, who are asking the right questions, which is what our monthly meetings are about. I will see you in one of those. Now, the reality is if you're hiring the right realtor, the value they bring is so worth their 2%, the 4% total. It's absolutely ridiculous because a good realtor knows how to negotiate. This is their absolute livelihood. Now, for the sellers that are like, I can sell the house on my own. I don't need a realtor. Like I said, maybe that was the case in the easy market like 2020, 2021, but we're in a new world right now. If you don't know how to negotiate, if you don't know how to push the buyer to the certain point before they fall off, like these are all valuable, insane skills that realtors bring, and you just don't know it. So when it comes to selling your house, when it comes to selling your rental properties, your investment properties, you need to hire the right top performing realtors and pay them what they're worth because they're going to make you, honestly, way more money. I mean, the amount of money I made my clients when I was a focused investment specialist realtor finding the right deals, dude, it was insane. I've literally made my clients at this point, tens of millions of dollars through all the properties I've sold them because I knew what to look for. I knew how to negotiate. I knew how to coach them on how to renovate it to make the most money when it comes time to sell it, when it comes time to rent it. You got to be working with the pros. Now, that is the hard part, to find the right realtor who's a specialist, who's fucking obsessed and living and breathing the business. But when you do, it is so worth it. Now, if you're a realtor, keep working, keep hustling, keep making that money. Of course, keep growing your business. But the reality is you got to stop working for money in the form of hustle. You got to start investing. Now, like I said, check out my pinned comment below on how to grow a real estate investing business. Totally free courses, but especially if you're a Canadian realtor and you want to invest in real estate and you know all the benefits, investing in Canada is pretty much over. You got to go to the US. Properties are cheaper. There's way more cash flow. Check out my free USA course below. Jump in, learn everything you got to know, and let's roll. I will see you in the next video.